all the things. Let's read the next one. And I am also repeating what I have told you earlier, and I am repeating the same thing. So that God said that Isaac is called the only son. So Ishmael is being excluded like two sons. But God said, your son Isaac, only son. Genesis chapter 22 verse 15. So here we can see, so here when Ishmael and Hagar were kicked out, God said, give me your only son, make him as a sacrifice for me. So it's when Hagar and Ishmael went away that there is this sacrifice. So Muslims with this Quran were wrong by saying that it's Ishmael that Abraham brought. That didn't exist in Torah. The Torah, which was in 2000 BCE, that doesn't exist in Torah. But the real wife is Sarah, and that is the chosen offspring. And it's through his womb that I accept, and it's Isaac. Genesis chapter 22 verse 15. The angel of YAHVAH called to Abraham from heaven a second time and said, I swear by myself, declares YAHVAH, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son. So it called only son. So it's only Isaac who is the only son of Abraham. So the God of Abraham, whose name is YAHVAH, has rejected and kicked out about Ishmael. And it's not in the dashboard of the God of Abraham. And according to the Sefer Torah of Jews, don't let him in. Yes, that is really clear. Let's get to another explanation, as I have given you earlier, but I'm giving it to you little by little. So God has given declaration. It's through the descendants of Isaac that all the blessing of all nations will come from. So the salvation, it's about the salvation for the people to become someone who never sin anymore. That is the meaning. So that they become righteous. So we can see that even the book, the one who wrote the book of Quran, he have asked for forgiveness. If you know the story, he was not sure yet if he will go to paradise or not. You have to. He's not sure yet if he will go to the heaven of heavens or not. You have to follow your book. But Elia, in our book, we say that we are sure 100% our way when we're with the God of Abraham, with YAHOSHUAH, the prophet, the last prophet in Jews, he sent. Okay. Let's read Genesis chapter 22 verse 18. And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed. Let's repeat that again. So from the verse 16 to 18. And said, I swear by myself, declares YAHVAH, that because you haven't done this and haven't protected your son, your only son, it's Isaac, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies, and through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed because you have obeyed me. So it's clear, the offspring is Isaac. So the offspring where the salvation come from is from Isaac, and it ends to YAHOSHUAH. The saddest thing is Muslims accept YAHOSHUAH, but after they say you must follow Arab's prophet. That is surprising. However, there is nothing to do with Arab's prophet till the end. But it's obvious. The war in Israel, that is the proof that the Jews and the Arabs cannot get along. So YAHVAH and Allah cannot get along. But YAHVAH has justifies his word till the end, and his word cannot be stopped till the end. And YAHVAH is not Allah. Allah is not YAHVAH. They are completely different. And the true one is the Torah, not the Quran. Yeah, we're going to get a little by little, but I always repeat that. Okay, let's carry on. We are not getting to another word. The offspring which will receive the blessing is the offspring of Isaac. Genesis chapter 26 from the verse 3 to 6. Genesis chapter 26 verse 3 to 6 to 5. Let's start from the verse 1 to 5. Genesis 26, 1 to 5. Now there was famine in the land, besides the previous famine in Abraham's time. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. And YAHVAH appeared to Isaac and said, do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land where I tell you to live. Stay in this land for a while, and I will be with you and will bless you. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands, and will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the star in the sky, and will give them all these lands. And through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed. Because Abraham obeyed me and did everything I required of him, keeping my commands, my decrees, and my instructions. So here it's clear that as Abraham has obeyed well to his God, YAHVAH, so that YAHVAH has kept his word, I will bless him. So here Abraham told to Isaac in Genesis 26 again, Bereshit for Sefer Torah, in Sefer Torah. So the word is really clear here that the covenant of God went to Isaac, the blessing for all the nations around the world. So it comes from the offspring of Isaac. So there is nothing to do with Ishmael or Arabs. So Arabs are excluded till the end. So Arabs cannot get into this. Like there is no word which gets to Arabs. That doesn't exist. The Torah reject that till the end. That's why I say to you, what is in Quran is not logical. There is kinds of strong manipulation, because here it's your descendants who will be blessed, and that is in the Sefer Torah of Jews. So what kind of words which is being manipulated if we are listening? What kind of words which is being manipulated if we are hearing this story of Abraham? Even the whole word, the whole book, it's in harmony. There is nothing that you cannot touch or modify. So how can you Muslims say it in your Quran that there is falsified words? There is something which has changed there. What has been changed? Even there is a long words and which was in harmony. So what can you change? But let's carry on the words. Genesis, where have we left? Okay. So the blessing went to the blessing was in Isaac. So after then, it was said that blessing went to Jacob. So that all the blessing of nations went to Jacob. So let's take a look at the story of Jacob. Genesis chapter 28. Genesis chapter 28. So Genesis 28 verse 10 to 11. Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. When he reached a certain place, he stopped for the night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones here, he put it under his head and lay down to sleep because it's already night. And he had got a dream, and he saw the the angel of God going up and down. So in the verse 13, God YAHVAH has shown to him. There above it stood YAHVAH, and he said, I am YAHVAH, the God of your father Abraham and God of Isaac. So how can you say that this is falsified? It is really well established, God of Abraham and God of Isaac. So it's the book of the Jews, you cannot touch it. So it is said, I'm going to give you Jacob this land. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out of the west and the east to the north and to the south. All the people on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. So here it's through your descendants that the all earth will be blessed. So here there is no mistakes in the words of Father YAHVAH, but it is really matched in harmony. And it is said that it is made for the descendants of Abraham, went to Isaac, went to Jacob. So here, this is the sign which is given to you. Let's read that sign. Okay? Remember that the descendants of Jacob, which is called Azrael also. Okay, let's read that. In Genesis chapter 32, verse 39. So here, where the name Azrael comes up. What? Where is that? Wait a moment, there is a mistake. When he fought, wait a moment, we are looking for it. I must look for it because I have lost it. Genesis chapter 32, verse 29. Genesis chapter 32, verse 28-29. Then the man asked him, what is your name? Jacob, he answered. Then the man said, your name will no longer be Jacob, but is Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome. So God, the God of Abraham, has changed the name of Jacob into Azrael. So from then, Azraelites are called Azrael. So that is the children of Isaac, children of Jacob, children of Isaac, children of Abraham. So that descendants would be slaved in Egypt, according to the words of God. Okay, let's see where there is a passage saying that your descendants will be slaved during 400 years. Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. Genesis 15:13. So the descendants who will inherit will be enslaved with 400 years. So these are those who were enslaved in Egypt. Then YAHVAH said to him, know for certain that for 400 years your descendants will be stranger in a country not their own, and that they will be enslaved and mistreated there. Verse 14, but I will punish the nation they serve as slave, and afterward they will come out with great possession. So the descendants who will be chosen and who will bring the covenant for all humans, and it's about salvation of all humans. And the descendants who is going to be the heir of Abraham will be slaved in Egypt, where Father YAHVAH led them to be. And those descendants are the descendants in Isaac. Azrael and his offspring were slaved in Egypt according to Genesis chapter 46, verse Genesis chapter 46. Okay. Genesis chapter 46, verse 1 to 7. So Azrael set out with all that was his, and when he reached the Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. And God spoke to Azrael in a vision at night and said, Jacob, Jacob, here I am, he replied. I am God, the God of your father, he said. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation there. I will go down to Egypt with you, and I will surely bring you back again, and Joseph's own hand will close your eyes. Then Jacob left the Beersheba, and Azrael's sons took their father Jacob and their children and their wives in the cart the Pharaoh had sent to transport him. So they went to Egypt, and they brought everything that they had in Egypt. Verse 6. So Jacob and all his offspring went to Egypt, taking with them their livestock and their possession they had acquired in Canaan. Jacob brought with him to Egypt his sons and grandsons, and his daughter and granddaughter, all his offspring. So everything that they had in Canaan, they brought it into Egypt. So it's obvious that Canaan belongs to them. So they were slaved in Egypt. So you see, we went from Genesis 11 to 46. So the offspring to Jacob to Azrael proves the truth of the words of the God of Abraham. So which of them are falsified according to you? And you may say the Sefer Torah is being corrupted, and we don't need to listen to that anymore, and we have to listen to the new words in the Quran. You see, that is all wrong. However, when we dive into the story, the Arabs cannot get into this story because there is no blessing for Arabs in. Whether in the Quran, that doesn't exist, but they just force with this situation, and they were like, it's an ancient book, but now it's Quran. This is the new model. This doesn't work. That is to fight against the God of Abraham, and his name is YAHVAH, because that is his real name. We cannot say let's call him, but his real name is YAHVAH. Let's carry on the words. So they are the people who went to Egypt and they were enslaved there. Let's read the words of God about that. So the Azrael were suffered in Egypt. So in Exodus chapter 2, (23 to 24). So we must follow this story so that we know and we can see the mistake in the Quran, which despised and rejected the Sefer Torah of Jews, so that they can establish the prophet that they must follow. That is the reason. They were like, get this aside. This is the new book. Follow the new prophet. Don't listen to the previous one anymore. However, when we are listening to the story in the Torah, it's obvious that the descendants of Ishmael are being kicked out. There is nothing to do with Arabs. So in the Quran, it's a trap just to reject the Sefer Torah of Jews, which is the word of the God of Abraham, YAHVAH. So that is unaccepted. That's why Elia came to bring the glory of beloved YAHVAH back. Yeah, the teaching is a bit long. I'm not going to cut it until the words ends, because you're already listening carefully, listening to its end. Exodus chapter 2 verse 23 to 24. Genesis 2, 23, 24. During that long period, the king of Egypt died. The Israelites groaned in their slavery and cried out. And their cry for help because of their slavery went up to God. And God heard their groaning, and he remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. Now it keeps repeating the covenant in Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So there is nothing to do with Arabs. There is nothing to do with Ishmael, but that is just a made-up story, so that people don't follow the Sefer Torah of Jews, but will follow a fake God. And God looked on the Israelites and was concerned about them. And he remembered, this is the word that I have told to Abraham. So God has looked over them. So when it reaches more than 400, it's approximately 430 years. So the words was being fulfilled. Exodus chapter 12 from the verse 37. We're going to read it. Exodus chapter 12. Oh. Exodus chapter 12. Verse 37. The Israelites journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth. There were about 600,000 men on foot, besides women and children. Verse 40, where is it? Verse 40. Okay, let's read from here. Verse 40. Now the length of the time the Israelites people lived in Egypt was for 30 years. And at the end of the 430 years, they, to the very day of YAHVAH's division, left Egypt. So the 400 years was an approximative date. Maybe people will criticize that this is not precise. You cannot force God with time. But when he said 400 years, but he will not give you precision. Even one day for him is 1,000 years for humans. So how can you make precise time for that? So it's here. This is the people who were enslaved in Egypt, and God has brought them out of Egypt and brought them to the Canaan land. And the children of Israel get to the Canaan land as Joshua has led them there. Let's read that. Joshua chapter 11. Joshua 11:23. Joshua 11:23. That the children of Israel get to the Canaan land, and that is to tell you all who follow this teaching. There is nothing that you can deny with what Elia has taught here. But the words of salvation was in harmony. The program of Father YAHVAH to save people in Israel. And devils wanted to manipulate in all way. But you devils cannot move anymore. Elia has arrived. And this teaching cannot be gone against anymore. The truth must get back to the truth. And the salvation of the people, because everyone are to be saved. Arabs, English, Chinese, African. Elia saved them all. Elia saves. That's why Elia brings back this word to save you. Okay, let's carry on. Joshua 11:23. So Joshua took entire land just as YAHVAH had directed Moses, and he gave it as an inheritance to Israel according to their tribal division. Then the land had rest from war. So there was no war anymore, because Joshua has taken all the entire land, as Father YAHVAH said, this is all your land. So when they seized the land, the words of Father YAHVAH has been fulfilled, and Ishmael cannot get included. There is no Ishmael who said, where is our part of land? No, there is no such thing. And until now we see that the land belongs to Israel. So what happens after? When the children of Israel, the mindless one, the fool one, did bad things again. I say fool because after seeing these things, they should not betray God, but they have betrayed God and they worship Baal. Okay, let's read the words of God. Now I would like to get back to the topic who was being sacrificed, because we have seen that the word is in Isaac and Jacob, and we're slaved in Egypt and we're brought back to Israel. So who is being sacrificed? And until now we can see that the land belongs to Israel. So who is being sacrificed in the Mount Moriah? Because it's the one who is being sacrificed there who possessed that word, and the one who were slaved who received that word. So the descendants to be blessed are those who were slaved. So it's Isaac who is being sacrificed in the Mount Moriah. Genesis chapter 22, verse 2. Genesis 22, 2. Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac. So he is the only son. And go to the region of Moriah, sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mount I will show you. So that is what Muslims reject. So how can we reject that? But they just change it into Ishmael. If Ishmael was there, why they were not slaved in Egypt? And why the descendants of Ishmael were not slaved for 100 years? But there is no descendants of Ishmael, but they just pull it like they're the ancestor of Arabs. But Arabs, they are in the south. Ishmael is Egyptians. He is above there in Israel. So there is nothing to do in Arabs. So verse 16. So it's these descendants who receive. Okay, Genesis chapter 22, verse 16 and 17. We get back to this. And said, I swear by myself, declares YAHVAH, that because you have done this and have not protected your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand of the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies. And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed. So, it's obvious the words is true. And the descendants of Abraham in Isaac, that there was the blessing. So, Isaac, it's in Isaac that all the words are fulfilled. So, it's Isaac who are being sacrificed. It's through the descendants of Isaac that all the nations are blessed. So if Ishmael died there, for example, it should be the descendants of Ishmael who should be enslaved. But there is no children of Ishmael who were being enslaved. But it's the descendants of Jacob. So it's obvious that the one who was about to be sacrificed in Mount Moriah was Isaac. So Ishmael is rejected. Arabs are rejected. The Quran is fake, false. There is nothing true in that anymore with this truthness. So let's see that these they have worshipped idols. Oh, where was that? Because we know the story about the salvation for all people, YAHOSHUAH. It comes from this offspring. So YAHOSHUAH came out from that. We're going to talk about that next time, but let's get back to the story. Because when they get back to their land, it's obvious that YAHOSHUAH came from Israelites. So we know the story. He was born by Maria, and he brings the salvation for all the people around the world. Glory be to beloved YAHVAH. Glory be to YAHOSHUAH. But children of Israel sinned, and they end up by been scattered out of their hand. Because Father YAHVAH said, if you broke my law, I'm going to scatter you. Leviticus chapter 26, and also we're kind of ending the word. Verse 14, 15. Leviticus 26, 14, 15. But if you will not listen to me and carry out all these commands, and if you reject my decrees and abhor my law and fail to carry out my commands and so violate my covenant, then I will do this to you. I will bring on you sudden terror, wasting disease and fever and so on and so forth. Okay, let's read on verse 33. Okay, let's start from the 32. Okay, 31. If you don't obey my law, this is what I'm going to do to you. Leviticus chapter 26, verse 31 to 33. I will turn your cities into ruins and lay waste your sanctuaries, and I will take no delight in the pleasant aroma of your offering. I myself will lay waste the land, so your enemies who live there will be appalled. I will scatter you among the nations. I will draw out my sword and pursue you. Your land will be laid waste, and your cities will lie in ruins. So I'm going to make you lose against your enemies. So that is what Father YAHVAH said, because they have worshipped Baal. So judge. Okay, Judges chapter 2, verse 11 to 13. We're going to continue to 14 if it's okay. Then the Israelites did evil in the eyes of YAHVAH and served Baals. They forsook YAHVAH, the God of their ancestor, who had brought them out of Egypt. They followed and worshipped various gods of the people around them. They aroused the anger of YAHVAH, because they forsook him and served Baal and Ashtoreth. In his anger against Israel, YAHVAH gave them into the hand of riders who plundered them. He sold them into the hands of their enemies all around, whom they were no longer able to resist. So that's it. The children of Israel didn't win anymore, but they were destroyed. So the book of Leviticus chapter 26 were fulfilled according to the words of Father YAHVAH. I will destroy you. Okay, so the words is fulfilled. Let's continue the word so that you can see that it continues. So when later then we're going to continue. Nebuchadnezzar the king entered in stage. As it is said, I'm going to scatter you because of your sin. You have worshipped Baal and Ashtoreth. Let's read Jeremiah chapter 25 from the verse 1 to 7. Jeremiah chapter 25 verse 1 to 7. The word came to Jeremiah concerning all the people of Judea in the 4th year of Joachim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, which was the 1st year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. So Jeremiah the prophet said to all the people of Judea and to all those living in Jerusalem, for 23 years, from the 13th year of Josiah, son of Ammon, king of Judea, until this very day, the word of YAHVAH has come to me, and I have spoken to you again and again, but you have not listened. And through YAHVAH has sent all his servant, the prophet, to you again and again. So Father YAHVAH has always sent prophet. So prophet brings the words of YAHVAH, and they are Israelites. You have not listened or paid any attention. They say, turn now each of you from your evil ways and your evil practices, and you can stay in the land YAHVAH gave to you and your ancestor forever and ever. Do not follow other gods to serve and worship them. Do not arouse my anger with what your hands have made, then I will not harm you. But you did not listen, declares YAHVAH, and you have aroused my anger with what your hands have made, and you have brought harm to yourself. Therefore, YAHVAH Almighty says this, because you have not listened to my words. I will summon all the people of the north and my servant Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, declares YAHVAH, and I will bring them against this land and its inhabitants, and against all the surrounding nations. I will completely destroy them and make them an object of horror and scorn and everlasting ruin. I will banish from them the sound of joy and gladness, the voice of bride and bridegroom, the sound of milestones, and the light of the lamp. This whole country will become a desolate wasteland, and this nation will serve the king of Babylon 70 years. That YAHVAH has beaten them. I'm going to make you captives. So that is accomplished in Jeremiah chapter 52. Let's read that. Jeremiah chapter 52, verse 4 and 5. Jeremiah chapter 52, verse 4 and 5. So in the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, marched against Jerusalem with his whole army. They encamped outside the city and built siege works all around it. The city was kept under siege until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. So we can see it's what happened next. Verse 12. 52, verse 12 to 14. On the 10th day of the 5th month, in the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, commander of imperial guard, who served the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. Verse 13. He set fire to the temple of YAHVAH, the royal palace, and all the house of Jerusalem. Every important building he burned down. The whole Babylonian army, under the commander of imperial guard, broke down all the walls around Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guard, carried into exile some of the poorest people and those who remained in the city, along with the rest of the craftsmen and those who had deserted the king of Babylon. So Babylonians have made children of Israel captives. So the words of the beloved YAHVAH has said, I'm going to make you escape. I'm going to make you captive. So the words of beloved YAHVAH cannot be gone against. So you who are listening, don't fight against him. YAHVAH is different. But Father YAHVAH remembered, because they were scattered, because from then Israel were attacked by people and they were destroyed again. But Father YAHVAH remembered his word to Abraham, and he has made declaration in Jeremiah, the prophet Israelite prophet. He said, "You who have scattered Israelites, gather them back to their land and protect them as a flock." So that has been fulfilled in 1822, and American and NATO protect them now. That is being fulfilled, and the words of prophet is again true. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 10. Now the words of Father YAHVAH has repeated, I will always give their land. Hear the words of YAHVAH, you nations, proclaim it in distant coastlands. He who scattered Israel will gather them and will watch over his flock like shepherd. So whoever scattered Israel, gathered them. So these worlds have gathered them because of what happened to Israel. And now American is the chief, the leader who led the children of Israel back to their land through the League of Nations at the time. So it was in 1822, and they have got independence in May 14th. I don't remember the date, It was a long time ago. Okay, so later, as children of Israel have received independence, so they become country. So the words of Father YAHVAH is being fulfilled. The words is true. The declaration is true. So the words, the truthness of the words, is undeniable. So the Sefer Torah is true. Father YAHVAH kept his word because Jeremiah the prophet, he was in 500 BCE. The words of Father YAHVAH is in 2000 BC, and it has applied in 500 BC, and it has really fulfilled in 1822. The Jews have gathered back into their land. So that is really fulfilled. Jeremiah 31:10. Who can fight against that YAHVAH? That YAHVAH has sent Elijah, so the truth is being brought back. All about him is being brought back. His glory and his truthness. You cannot stop his truthness. All humans must prostrate before that YAHVAH. He is the God. That is the truth. YAHVAH is his name. There is no one who can fight against him. You must get aside. Allah, get aside. You cannot get into that anymore. I give you the proof. When we are looking into the story, the children of Israel get back to their land. That is the words of the prophet, Israelite prophet. And it's the Israelite prophet that Moses has told. It's a prophet, Israelite like me, that you must listen. So the words of the prophet Jeremiah has been fulfilled. The children of Israel get back to their land. So who among you can say that the words of the prophet of Arabs or English or Chinese has authority? That has no authority. That has no authority, because it is said it's the words of the Israelite prophet, which has been accomplished from Abraham to Moses to Jeremiah, and it has been fulfilled in American and to the world, the whole world. So the question is, if the children of Israel get back to their land, and we have seen that. That is, I'm getting back to my previous explanation. If Allah is the same as YAHVAH, the Muslim and children of Israel should not fight against each other, because it is said you are going to inherit the land of Israel. So if Allah is same as YAHVAH, Palestinian Arabs or whoever around Israel should not fight against Israel. They should welcome them. But why do they fight each other? They're fighting each other because Muslim Arabs and Israelites cannot agree. Because Arabs say that the land belongs to them. As proof, they built mosques in Israel, Mosque of Omar, because they say that Ismail has been sacrificed and they built mosque. That is something that you cannot deny. And that's how you say that it's your land. Yeah, the Mount of Zion is the Mount of Moriah. So it's your mosque, which is the proof. And you insist that this Canaan land is yours. Israel is yours. And you don't accept them to dwell in. As proof, you built mosque. Why do you fight against Israel? If YAHVAH is equal Allah, you should not fight. You should applaud and welcome the honor of the word. But you fight against each other and you kill one another until now. And even you do some kamikaze. Arabs has done kamikaze. I am telling you, stop that. Look at the truth. Be conscious now. As long as you kill Israelites and you cannot agree one another until now, the God of Abraham is really and completely different from Allah. And you cannot equal YAHVAH to Allah. You cannot mix Allah and YAHVAH. YAHVAH is really separated. And YAHVAH sent Elijah. He sent YAHOSHUAH. And he is really different. YAHVAH is the true God. He keeps his word. And when he says all the Arabs are kicked out, the Arabs cannot move. Where is Allah because Allah, the God of Arabs, said Ishmael is the owner of the covenant. But how? Where is Ishmael? Who get Israel? Even Ishmael is not Arab. You forced him to be Arab, but he is not an Arab. He is not an Arab, but you forced him to be an Arab. The Muslims are Arab, but he is not an Arab. But he is Chaldean, he is Babylonian, and Babylonian is not an Arab, because in the time of Babylonian there is already Arabs. But Arabs are not Babylonian, and Babylonian are not Arab, but they are different. We are going to talk about that next time. Now we are still in the teaching. But here it is really clear that the God of Jews, Abraham, YAHVAH is his name, and he is really and completely different from the God of Arabs, whose name is Allah. And when they are different from one another, it's obvious Quran is no longer accepted, but it must be the Torah of Jews which brings the truth. The truth is for the Jews. The Quran is kicked out. The God of Muslim is kicked out and cannot touch this truth, because the prophet Jeremiah has justified the Jews has get back to their land, and now they are back. So the words of God of Abraham is been fulfilled. Glory be to him. The conclusion is Torah is the truth and Quran is false. Allah is not the God of Jews, but the God of Jews is YAHVAH, and he is the owner of the Sefer Torah of Jews, and you cannot enter into that. The rest are just scam. Last thing Moses said, because we have heard his word, only listen to Israelite prophet, including Jeremiah the prophet. His word is being fulfilled. Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 15. The prophet that you can listen is Israelite, and you cannot listen to other prophet but only Israelite, and it's only the Israelite prophet's words which are fulfilled and no more. And you cannot listen any other prophet but only Israelite, and it gets to YAHOSHUAH. It reaches to YAHOSHUAH, and YAHOSHUAH didn't change any words, but it is still in the same thing. It's only Israelite prophet that you must listen, and it's the words of YAHOSHUAH. He said clearly, if you accept the Israelite prophet, never sin anymore. So that is the words of that Israelite prophet. And if we are talking about Israelite prophet, the goal of the God of Abraham is to wash people away from their sins. It's not to make people sinners, but the plan of the God of Abraham is to make people someone who never sin anymore. So we're going to talk about that. What is the plan of the God with that Israelite prophet to be listened? But what the prophet Israelite brings, the conclusion is to bring people to become someone who never sin anymore, and they will never commit sin anymore. But Allah, the Quran and Allah hasn't never been able to do that. There is no one who followed the Quran who was in the right way. Everyone who follow Quran and Allah cannot go to the righteous way, because it is written in their book they cannot change people to the righteous. But the God of Abraham can make people someone who never sin anymore and the righteous. That is the real work of the God of Abraham. What I am teaching to you for all of you around the world. Note, mine is love. I want to save all of you humans, whether you are Arabs or English or African, whoever you are. The purpose of Elias is to save you. And if you don't want to be saved, wait for the consequences, because everything has its consequences. I have proved to you. Yeah, our next teaching is what is the word of the prophet and what is the goal of the prophet. Let me give the answer immediately, so that you become someone who never sin anymore, and you don't know how to commit sin anymore, and you will be with the God of Abraham, really, truly. That is his goal, and that's why he sent YAHOSHUAH to save people. But Muslims reject YAHOSHUAH, but they accept something else, which means they keep what they want and they reject what they don't want. You cannot do that. The words he gave is the truth, but it's you who don't know how to go along that, and that's why you say that it's wrong. And all the words are true, and the honor of the words has arrived. And Eliah brings the glory of the honor of the words. YAHVAH is his name, and the truthfulness of his words must be brought back to him, and everyone must prostrate before him. All the gods must flee before him, because the honor of the authority and the burning fire has arrived. YAHVAH is his name, and he sent his son, Eliah, that is his name. Yes, I am his son. Who do you want me to be? When he is the creator, and as he is the creator, he gave birth. And now, he sent his servant, bringing the truth. And those who follow Eliah never sin anymore. If you want that, follow us. If you don't want, wait for your consequence. And don't criticize these words anymore, because this is not yours. It's not you who are not the honor, who will criticize the honor of the word. But this belongs to Israelites, and we are the honor of the word, because we are already living being someone who don't know how to sin anymore. And when we don't know how to sin anymore, that is the truth. Okay, that is it. YAHOSHUAH bless you. The explanation was really clear, that what the Quran has done is scam, because they took the words in the Quran, but the rest they destroyed. That is not good. But in the Torah, there is no mistake. There is no single mistake. And Eliah confirms that till the end. And we have proof to justify these words. Those who follow us never sin anymore. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, because that is the goal of that God. As long as it's a God who make you sinners, it's a fake one, so get out of there. You will be lost in hell. You are deceived there. So those who make you sinners, they are fake. They cannot wash you away from your sin. They are fake. But the true one is the one who can make you someone who never sin anymore. And that is the truth. And he has the authority and the power. Glory be to the Almighty. YAHVAH is his name. Okay. YAHOSHUAH bless you. I hope that you have received the words. The last conclusion is the Quran is false. The Torah is the true one. That's it. And Allah will never be equal to YAHVAH. Allah is the God of Arabs, and there is nothing to do with Jews. So YAHVAH is the God of the Jews, Abraham, the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. It's a God of Jews, not the God of Arabs. And now they are fighting each other because the Jews get back to their land, and now they are fighting until now. So Allah is not the God of Jews, and YAHVAH is not the God of Arabs. But YAHVAH is the God of Jews, and Allah is the God of Arabs. YAHVAH has the Sefer Torah, but Allah has the Quran. They cannot get along. It's a foolishness and stupidity for those who get them along, but they have their own. But once you get to the Sefer Torah, we must enter in stage, because that belongs to our dad, so we will never accept that. And the goal of that Sefer Torah, the purpose he sent all the prophet, is to make people someone who never sin anymore, and that is being fulfilled. Glory be to the Almighty. That is all about love. We arrive to bring love, but if you don't want to receive the love, the disaster will come to hit you. It's already here. That's why we are saved. I am saving you. Come to beloved YAHVAH. Come to the true God of Abraham. YAHVAH is his name, not Allah. YAHVAH never gets along with Allah. That is all lies. YAHVAH is really different, and even he fight against Allah. However, Allah cannot fight against him until now, because his word is now being accomplished now until now. That's why come to YAHVAH. He is the true God, and follow YAHOSHUAH. He sent because he is the Savior. Let's pray together. Thank you very much, beloved YAHVAH. Glory be to you forever. I have brought the proofs, and I have brought the truth. There is no words which can go against your truthness. And it's the responsibility of Eliah to explain to people around the world about the goodness of your word, because everything that you have said and you have written in your Sefer Torah are true, and that cannot be shaken, because that has been fulfilled until now. That those who are selected to go to the eternal life, let them hear and listen and see this teaching and these words of Eliah. Glory be to you, beloved YAHVAH. Respond to my prayer, respond to my call every day. You will protect the words and the teaching and the declaration. In your name, YAHOSHUAH, that I make all the prayer. Hallelujah. Amen. So that is our meeting for today. YAHOSHUAH bless all of you. See you on the next teaching. Goodbye.